Looking at the crypto markets, we could see a rise of ordinals on Bitcoin network, and also we can see multiple meme coins rallying up, led by PEPE coin, which went more than 10x. So let's analyze the markets and see what's ahead of us after this slight pullback that we experienced. Hello guys, my name is Željko and welcome to Unsymmetric. So today I will go to the charts immediately, and the first one that we have today is the Bitcoin average transaction fees. And here you can see that increased drastically recently, and the reason for that is what I mentioned in the introduction, is the rise of ordinals. And many people debate whether they are good or bad for Bitcoin. In my opinion, it's good because it's always good to explore new use cases, since blockchain is new technology as well. Second thing, the fees are higher, so this pretty much gives additional incentives for the miners since the fees are higher. The third thing is that the inscription process, which pretty much means that now you're allowed to write additional metadata to Bitcoin transactions, and that pretty much provides additional value to Bitcoin. So in a long term, in my opinion, is definitely a good thing. Second thing to address is the PEPE coin, and when you look at the chart, you can see that it started creating lower highs and lower lows, and pretty much now we are at support level at this zone. And if we lose that support, pretty much that would be a pretty bearish sign for PEPE coin. Still, I would stay away of it, even though that it had like the higher trading volume than Ethereum one day, I think. The moves are pretty large and there are many wicks both to the upsides and downsides. Now we can see that the funding rate is increasing with the price decreasing, which should be a bearish sign. But again, I think that these meme coins are not like the best thing to trade or invest into, because like you can see Elon Musk tweeting about it, and there is even high possibility for that, and that it goes to the opposite direction in case if you would short it. In general, I try to look for the things that have like real world applications and use cases and that are actually useful. The next thing that is important to look into is DXY, or US Dollar Strength Index, and we can see that it recently broke support, that it came above it again, and then it broke again. And now honestly this is good sign for Bitcoin, but not a good sign for dollar, to be honest. And the next support for dollar would be probably at this area at $99. Or this just might be another false breakdown. In general, in my opinion, this chart doesn't look good, and it's pretty much bearish on a long time frame, which should be a good sign for Bitcoin again, but not that good sign for dollar. Okay, now let's go to the Bitcoin chart. Now if we take a look into the Bitcoin chart, we can see that pretty much we are in some stagnation phase, and we are in the ranging markets from like 27 to 28.2k. And if we switch to the daily chart, we can see that we had a few attempts to break 30k and we failed at it, which is probably bearish as well, especially if we lose this support. Then we have another support at 25.2, but if we lose that one as well, that would be really bad for Bitcoin. Another possible scenario is again to liquidate all the short positions that are building up, and we might even go to the 32 or even 37k. I wouldn't be surprised to that, because especially if you look into the volatility chart, we can notice that for a while we didn't have any bigger spike in the volatility. So there is a possibility for a move that we just go up to take the liquidity and then we come back down. And especially since we are in a ranging markets for a while, I would expect something like that to happen, to go like either in one or another direction. I don't expect us to stay in this range for much longer. If we take a look into the Ethereum chart, honestly this one looks even more bearish, because we finally managed to break the resistance at $2,000 and now we fall below it, and now we are pretty much building a 3 doji candles in a row, which would be a bearish sign as well. Also, when it comes to the Ethereum, we are approaching to the time when people will actually be able to unstake their Ethereum, and there is like highly likely that they will move it to one of the exchanges if it's not already there, and that they will sell some of it at least. The next important thing is the Bitcoin dominance, and if you look into the Bitcoin dominance with stablecoins, it's pretty much in a stagnation at around 48%, while if you look at the Bitcoin dominance that excludes stablecoins, it's increasing consistently. And the main reason for that is that we can see that the altcoins are consistently losing its strength, and the stable coins are losing its strength as well. Regarding the altcoins, yeah, we have meme coin pumps, but honestly that's not something that's healthy because they don't have the actual use case or purpose, and that's one of the main things that I always look into for the coins that I invest into them. I noticed that there are many of them that have like infinite supply or something like that, which is, in my opinion, really bad. As I discussed in one of the previous videos, I expect the Bitcoin dominance to increase. Doesn't matter which one you look into. I expect the Bitcoin dominance to still slightly increase, and especially when we have a pullback, I expect even bigger increase in Bitcoin dominance, which would be followed with the increase of altcoins finally, for which people are waiting so long. Another concerning thing for me is that if you look into the stable coins, and this is the chart that people don't look into, because if you look into the market, total market cap of stable coins, it's not something that looks good, because usually, like when we had a bull market, we never had contraction of stable coins. We had actually more people transferring their money into the stable coins and then going into the Bitcoin and altcoins from the stable coins. And usually you want to see that majority of the altcoins are rising together. Yeah, you have narratives where like there's some coins that will increase way more than others, but still usually like when you see some coins increasing 20-30%, you see the others increasing for at least like 5%, which recently often wasn't the case. One thing that could be bullish is if we look into the Bitcoin funding rate, we can see that it's negative recently, and usually when we have negative funding rate, we usually expect to see a slight increase in price. But still, if you look into the open interest, we can see that it's slightly decreasing, which in this situation means that people are like adding funds to their accounts to not get liquidated from their long positions. So when we sum up everything together, especially if you take a look in the macroeconomic situation, we can see that we are in some type of undefined zone, and we need to see where the market's gonna go next to make the next moves. Me personally, I exited majority of my positions because I want to stay in cash, mainly because if the prices go down, I have better opportunities to buy. Of course, you always want to have some crypto as well, because you want to have an upside whether the prices are going up or down. You should never try like to maximize, because that's usually how you miss the largest and biggest moves and miss the best opportunities that you could get. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to join Discord in the description below and ask me any questions there. Thank you for watching. Stay strong and healthy. Bye.